This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. All eyes on Scotland as world leaders are gathered for the UN Climate Summit. Details from CBS's Mark Phillips.
The scientific calculation is that planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions have by the end of this decade. As it stands now, they will continue to rise. And the international political will that made the Paris deal possible isn't there this time. The Chinese president, Xi Jinping, isn't even coming.
Another devastating coronavirus milestone. The global death toll has now topped 5 million in less than 2 years. Moderna's vaccine may not be authorized for teens anytime soon. CBS's Jim Krasula explains.
Moderna says the FDA is delaying its review of its COVID-19 vaccine for teenagers as young as 12. The agency wants to take a closer look into a possible rare heart risk. The review of the possible risk, a heart muscle inflammation called myocarditis, may push back approval until early next year.
The Supreme Court will hear arguments on Texas's controversial abortion law today. Boston University law professor Linda McClain.
5 justices are willing to say that Texas can make this kind of copycat laws that could go to an effect.
An Oklahoma man on death row has one last chance to plead his case. When Julius Jones was 19, he was convicted of killing Paul Howell. He maintains he didn't do it. CBS's Maria Villarreal spoke to both families.
The families, they both seem to want the same thing, justice, but they see the case very differently. Paul Howell's daughter, Rachel, is adamant Julius Jones killed her father, and the evidence supports that. The Jones family says Julius is innocent and that race played a part in this case. At 19 years old, they say the system failed him, and now it's time for people to hear his side.
American Airlines has canceled more than 1,800 flights since Friday. CBS transportation correspondent Errol Burnett.
American Airlines appears to be suffering from the same pandemic pain that befell Spirit Airlines in August and Southwest Airlines after that. Thin staffing plus poor weather conditions equals logistical chaos.
At the World Series last night,
the Houston Astros win 5, coming from a 4-0 first inning deficit. The Astros scored 2 in the second, 2 in the third to tie the game, then moved in front in the fifth with 3 more runs and never looked back. Today is a travel day. Game 6 takes place tomorrow. The Astros still in a do-or-die situation. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the World Series in Atlanta.
On Wall Street, markets expected to open higher today. This is CBS News.
Today, better nutrition and great taste are more important than ever. That's why Eggland's Best gives you and your family more. And that's healthy news for everyone. Only Eggland's Best.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
One of my Wildfire coworkers contacted me after 5 p.m. one day. She was working with a member in a rush to meet with the seller of a vehicle she wanted to purchase. I double-checked her loan application right then. I emailed it out to her while she was on her way to the branch so that she could sign electronically. We had her check ready for her when she arrived by 6 p.m. Teamwork makes the dream work. For our member, the dream was finding a car, applying for a loan, and buying it in one day. And the Wildfire team made it work.
Saving members money, providing going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News. It's 37 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Union leaders representing thousands of workers employed at Dow, DuPont, Corteva, and IFF locations from the United States and around the globe met this past week in San Antonio, Texas, to discuss common issues, devise strategies, and pledge unity. Kent Holsing, chairperson of the Dow DuPont North American Labor Council and president of United Steelworkers Local 120, said the Dow workers, DuPont, Corteva, and IFF workers continue to experience many challenges following the split of Dow DuPont and the ongoing pandemic. He said the unionized sites of each of these companies around the globe will be working together to ensure the members' best interests are represented. Union leaders shared collective bargaining data, identified mutual obstacles, and determined potential solutions over that 3-day period. The council discussed the difficulties employees at Dow, DuPont, and Corteva and IFF experience, including Dow's plan to adversely affect retirement security, short staffing, excessive overtime, and increased concern over proper training and workplace community safety. Discussion also included several current and upcoming contract negotiations, the future of company union relations and organizing. The labor leaders strengthened their union's international connections, and their interactions boosted mutual respect and understanding across the 4 companies' unionized work sites in the U.S. and globally. Turns out the Johnson Street reconstruction project in Bay City was finished under budget and by quite a bit. WSGW's Rick Antonio has more.
This week's City Commission session will see the approval of a contract update with Champaign and Marks Excavating, who managed to $145,500 less than originally planned after it was discovered work on the Bay Metro parking lot needed to be done due to gravel damage from a temporary driveway off Water Street. Other roadway-related updates at the meeting include plans to remove parking on the east side of South Chilson Street between Fisher and Thomas, and an ordinance change to how the city awards repair, construction, and public work contracts. Prior to the regular agenda, commissioners will be hearing from members of the Bay City NAACP and the Bay County Prevention Network seeking allocation of ARPA funds and an official allocation of ARPA funds totaling $2.63 million to the City Water Fund and Community Development Department. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The Midland Downtown Business Association invites residents and visitors to shop locally and support the Midland community at their annual holiday open house, November 12th through 14th. There'll be new merchandise, holiday items, special services, new menu items, and more. Participating stores will host holiday wreaths decorated with unique items the end of the event. Shoppers can register to win at each of the stores. The Midland Downtown Business Association will also be bringing back Brush Monkey for the 3rd holiday season to paint downtown business windows. Guests can see them in action over the weekend. They'll be painting at 30 businesses. A complete listing of participating retailers and restaurants can be found at downtownmidland.com. WSGW News Time, 9:08.
You can't be in farming without taking risks. That's common knowledge. But that doesn't mean you should throw caution to the wind. And when it comes to new technology, farmers always look before they leap. And for the past 3 years, farmers have looked at the Enlist weed control system, and they have leapt. Now it's your turn. Millions and millions of acres of Enlist herbicide superior technology with neighbor-friendly weed control, more tank mix options, near zero volatility, and much, much more. But to unlock all these advantages, you must start with Enlist E3 soybeans. See what a better seed and herbicide system can bring to your fields at enlist.com. You've looked, now leap.
WSGW News Time now 9:09. An 18-year-old man is missing in East Lansing, and East Lansing police are asking for the public's help. Brendan Santo was last seen leaving Yakeley Hall at Michigan State University just before midnight on Friday and hasn't been seen since. Police have located his vehicle. Santo was visiting friends and may have been walking to the Brody neighborhood. He was wearing sweatpants, a black T-shirt, a black baseball hat, and white Converse high-top shoes. in Detroit are alarmed by the growing number of fentanyl overdoses in Michigan. MNN's Sandra McNeil reports.
According to the National Center for Drug Abuse Statistics, overdoses account for over 2,800 deaths a year in Michigan, nearly 18% higher than the national average. Keith Martin is a special agent at the DEA in Detroit.
I can tell you I get notifications from some areas in the region on a daily basis, and it's just a high number, I can tell you that.
Martin says fentanyl is largely to blame, a secret additive to a host of drugs, from OxyContin to Percocet, even Adderall.
We treat almost every drug as though it's laced with fentanyl.
Where 26% of the drugs they seize used to be laced with a potentially deadly amount of fentanyl, now that number is 42%. His advice, avoid any drugs not from a legitimate pharmacy or the doctor. Sandra McNeil, Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Sunshine in the forecast for the start of the work week. Temperatures will be warming into the upper 40s. We'll have west winds 10 to 15 with gusts in the mid-20s. Partly cloudy for Monday night. 32 for your low. Winds breezy out of the west-southwest. Tuesday, chance for a rain-snow mixture towards the late afternoon. We're still expecting plenty of sunshine, cooler temperatures in the mid-40s. We'll have west winds gusting around 20. Wednesday, sunshine, a high of 45. I'm meteorologist Mandy Faluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 35 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinion. Your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you. And welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from my home studio, the Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. Sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs. Give her a call, 989-295-7713. And don't forget the area code in our region. We need to use it, 989-295-7713. Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty and Cafe 476 in the Point at M46 and M47. We thank them for their support of the program.
Send it to treat our troops. Prepare.
There we go. We are going to have a discussion after the 10 o'clock news with Tra Williams, who is the president of something called Field Force Truck Driving Schools, a national organization, about the truck driver shortage and what's being done, what can be done. Because it's not new. The truck driver shortage is bigger today. They're saying 80,000. But long before the pandemic, they were saying they were short 50,000. So trucking has always been one of those industries that is always looking for competent drivers. We'll talk to Tra about that. And we will take a look at the holiday house walk on Focus after the 11 o'clock news this morning. But for this hour, open phones. Saginaw Bay City, 989-752-6111. You can also use that number throughout the state and the country because most of the carriers don't charge long distance and roaming. But if yours does, you can call 866-790-WSGW inside the state of Michigan to be on the program. Mike is with us in Shields, so that's where we'll begin this morning. Mike, good morning.
Hey, I got a question for you. A while back, you were going to try to make turkey drumsticks, like they do at the Renaissance Festival. And as I recall, you weren't real successful. But did you ever accomplish your feat?
Nope. No, I don't. I tried it a couple of times, and I just couldn't get close. I mean, theirs are really special.
Oh, yeah. Does anybody around do those? Like any?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's I don't know what they do at the Renaissance Festival. But I don't know because I obviously don't know because I can't duplicate it. So
Yeah.
no, the answer is no.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go online and see if I can.
I've done that. I've tried them. I
you
tried a
haven't?
couple of onlines and they didn't come close.
Oh. Well, I meant not to make them necessarily, is to just purchase them.
Oh, I don't know if you can. Yeah, that'd be a trick. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good talking to you. Have a
Same
good
here.
one.
Yep. Bye now. All right. Let's get into a couple of things here that are going on today and very much in the news. The governor's race in Virginia, dead heat going into today. Both McAuliffe and Youngkin, Glenn Youngkin and Terry McAuliffe. Youngkin, the Republican challenger, McAuliffe, the former governor, running for it again. And by the way, the reason for that, in Virginia, governors are not allowed to serve consecutive terms. One term and you're out. Now you can run again, just not for the term following the one you're serving. So you have to skip a term, so to speak. So that's why McAuliffe's running again. A tight race, and one that has national implications as to what 2022 may look like for the Democrats. And also an important race in a way for Donald Trump, because even though Youngkin is staying at an arm's distance from Trump, Trump has endorsed him and could be a feather in his cap if Youngkin wins the race. So there's lots of little implications. Be interesting to watch. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur.
Good morning.
Yeah, I thought that was a great idea that Pat took me up on that idea of the PVC tube with the candy delivery for Halloween. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah. Yep.
I saw an artist's conception of it, and I thought, man, and I got PVC tube around the house, so no big deal for me. But I thought that was a great idea. You put it down a slope, and you stand by the doorway and toss it in the front of the tube, and the little kid holds the bag at the bottom of the tube, and lo and behold, it delivers.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you. We don't get any trick-or-treaters where we are, so
No.
I don't need any tube. Besides,
but still a great idea.
well, particularly in this COVID world we live in today,
Sure.
we look for
Sure.
ways to separate. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it keeps you inside the doorway too, to some extent. You don't have to open the doors wide. Hey, on this, they're talking about this worldwide or whatever it is, nation thing with trying to get this 15% tax increase to be global.
The corporate tax, yes.
Yeah, that is the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
You weren't going to pay for it.
Well, in the first place, one or two countries are going to be really smart and say, no, we're not going to do it. And
Yeah.
guess what? All the businesses are going to flock to those one or two countries.
Exactly.
It's an asinine idea. I can't believe that somebody would come up with an idea that stupid.
Oh, I can. I can.
Ireland. Well, one of the countries that's looking at it is Ireland.
They're looking at it.
Well, bet.
Yeah, they're
They're
looking at it.
I know, but
Doesn't mean they're going to
Yeah.
do it.
But the pressure is on to do it because, man, what a load of money will flow into that place, even though it's not 15%. Even if they charge only 2% or 5%, they're going to get a boatload of money flowing through there.
Well, but if one country breaks the mold and doesn't charge the 15% and only charges
Right.
5%,
Right.
they're going to get the business. And besides, the bottom line is people have to learn this. Corporations don't pay taxes. People do.
They don't.
People
And-
do.
Can't seem to figure that out. They just cannot seem to understand that. It's an economic thing. And what's to stop China from doing it? They own almost everything now. They could set up a tax deal and charge only 2%, and they rake in tons of money.
Yep. All right.
So
We'll watch it.
It's a foolish idea. I can't believe any politician's that stupid to push that.
No, I
just
can.
shows their ignorance. It shows their ignorance.
Well,
it really does.
We'll see.
Yep.
All right.
Well, thank you, sir.
Good enough. Take care, Al. Bye-bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-989-752-6111. Toll free 866-790-WSGW. Art Lewis Show for a Monday morning. Brand new week, brand new month. Would you believe we're already the 1st of November? And it looks like the weatherman was watching the calendar because, boy, it's going to chill out this week. Woo! Temperatures below freezing overnight. 30s, 40s during the day. Yow! Oh, well, we'll take a break and then come back. We'll get to Russ in Bay City when we return after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with Top Tech up to 45% off during their early access Black Friday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
AMC Entertainment says October turned out to be its best month since the COVID-19 pandemic began, with the box office for the month considerably higher. Its rival IMAX reported last week that it saw its best October on record. Barclays CEO Jess Staley, also a former J.P. Morgan Chase executive, has resigned over ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Staley says he will challenge the conclusions of an internal investigation which accused him of about the relationship. The probe did not say Staley was aware of allegations against Epstein. Analysts are encouraged that Hasbro will be able to make it through the holiday shopping season because backed up toys from the summer have already been delivered. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
There's iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hundreds of thousands of people have said goodbye to their overpriced Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile plans and switched to Pure Talk. It's CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. Did you know Pure Talk gives you the same great coverage on the same great 5G network as one of the big guys for about half the cost. The average family is saving over $800 a year. You can keep your number and keep your phone or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. Or if you want unlimited data, you can still save a fortune. With US-based customer service, Pure Talk treats their customers right. Plus, they have a 30-day risk-free guarantee, so you to lose. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill 50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill 50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, Democrats had to fabricate white supremacists. So I guess Democrats are the greatest terror threat in America.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Russ is in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, our president met with Pope Frankie. and almost every report on it, they mentioned how Biden's facing trouble from U.S. bishops.
Yeah.
What a load of crap. No politician has ever or will ever be denied communion from the Roman Catholic Church for being pro-abortion. It's a total farce. In fact, the majority of Catholic politicians are Catholic. You know, I mean, as far as the Catholic politicians, most of them are Democrats and pro-abortion. I mean, look at every single one that we see in the news. Boom, guess what? Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, they're all Roman Catholics. And no problem, no foul. So I wish they would.
Well, I just want to correct one thing. That is not to say that the American bishops haven't had a voice. They may not succeed, but they've expressed themselves.
Well, the reality is Joe Biden has more of a chance of dying in a fiery helicopter crash than he does being denied communion by the...
Okay, so fine. I mean, that's the church's business.
I know, but I wish they would stop acting as if they are pro-life conservatives. They're not. They're dying the will, global progressives. Pope Frankie only supports...
That's not his name.
...left-wing, pro-abortion world leaders there are. He has total disdain for...
Yeah, so what's new about that? We know that. So what's new?
I'm just saying, I wish they would stop. I wish the press would stop pretending otherwise. That's what bothers me the most. Is no. And the press always does it. They did it this time.
They report on what happens, and what's happened is American bishops said one thing, and the Pope has said something else, and that was reported, and that's how you know about it. And that's how you know about it.
What wasn't reported is actions, and
well, there weren't any
actions. Right, exactly.
So what do you report on? There was no action.
And they didn't report on that.
Well, what? Of course they did. If the Pope said that he can take communion, that's the action, isn't it?
But there wasn't one American bishop to deny.
All right, well...
They have the right to deny people communion, too. And none of them ever have.
Okay, fine. I mean, it's been that way forever. We know that.
Yeah.
Nothing new there.
Oh, no. I just wish they would stop pretending as if it's a possibility. Because it's not.
Everything is a possibility.
It's a possibility. It's never going to happen.
All right. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's talk to Mark in Midland. Mark, good morning. Mark,
how are you, sir?
There you are. Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, I wanted to take a moment on this Build Back Better plan that they're trying to put through with the Congress and the Senate and the House and all of them with all their ideas. Do you think it'd be more successful if Back Better and put a burger on it with endless fries would be more successful than the Build Back Better plan that they have going on now?
I don't know. It depends if progressives like burgers or not. I'm not sure they do, because cows, of course, issue flatulence, which contributes to global warming. So you might not be getting it through the progressives.
Right. Have you had a chance to pick up that story yet on Fauci and the Beagles yet? I know I said it was on Facebook, but it's starting to gain legs on other news networks now, where they took the Beagles and put sand fleas into the eyes of the Beagles, and then
No, I haven't seen that.
So they couldn't.
I haven't seen it.
well,
I'll look for it, but I did have another story on Fauci today because it's not all him; it's the CDC. The headline of the story is how they've confused this issue of booster shots, and it's the left hand not talking to the right hand. I guess I'm not sure, but there it is. It's the way it is. Good.
Got my booster shot yesterday. It took 20 minutes to a half hour because they couldn't find the expiration date on the J&J box.
Really?
So I guess it was still. Yeah, they had to call around because they couldn't find any expiration dates on the medication.
Huh.
So,
all right.
Whatever. Alrighty, sir.
Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye now.
Take care.
All right, that opens the lines for you. This story, the headline in the story was CDC plagued by confusing messaging, critics say. And there was an example of it this weekend. Dr. Fauci was interviewed on CNN by John Berman, and he asked Fauci if people should seek out booster shots of the same type of vaccine that they originally got. If you got Pfizer, get a Pfizer booster, Moderna booster, Johnson & Johnson, so forth, so on. And what Dr. Fauci said is, quote, it's generally recommended you get the booster that is the original regimen that you got in the first place. But he then did concede that mixing different types of vaccines was allowable, but reiterated that brand loyalty was best. And that, to me, seems to sum it up, and that's, it's a reasonable position. Well, then, about 2 hours later, there was a briefing of the White House pandemic response team, and Dr. Rochelle Walensky, who's the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said, quote, we will not articulate a preference, contradicting what Dr. Fauci said. And this is just another example of how they wonder why there's distrust. They wonder why there's confusion. They wonder why people are suspicious, why people don't want the vaccine. Get your message straight. Talk to each other. Everybody get on the same page. These are not stupid people. But they sure treat us like we are. So that's just, that headline caught my attention, And they've been confusing us from the beginning. It's been the problem. That's why you can't get everybody on board. Now, I'm pro-vaccine, and I've said that many, many times. But I've also said that's a decision between you and your doctor. Not between you and a radio talk show host. Not between you and a politician. Between you and your doctor. And hopefully your doctor is not as confused as everybody else is. I don't know. It's just their messaging is weak, to say the least. We're going to pause. Lines are open for you. If you've got some comments for us, give us a call. We'll be back.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. it finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Players Lounge at the Bay Valley Resort. You are going to get a $20 gift certificate for only $10. The Players Lounge has some amazing appetizers, including fried zucchini, chicken wings, and bacon-wrapped shrimp. Their smokehouse chicken sandwich and their fish and chips. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at exergen.com.
Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect.
Also possible. Staples Connect can help your business navigate the future of work with custom printed sales and marketing materials. Now get 20% off signs, banners, and posters or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples store. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 1/1. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, for this Monday, November 1st. Back to our phones. Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. How you doing?
Doing well.
Funny, my mouth is numb. I just got out of the dentist.
Ouch.
Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about the Democratic Party here. You know, they're talking about Biden going overseas, doing the VAT tax and all that. We need to look at the Democratic Party. They are a punishing group of people. And if they don't like what you are doing, they will either arrest you or stop you or can't do it. And I'm tired of it. You know, I mean, we can only have certain kind of light bulbs in our home. They let us have so much pop in certain states that we're at. We have to drive certain cars. We can't eat pork. I mean, these guys are nuts. And now they don't even want us to use the term bullpen.
Yeah.
When is America going to stand up and say, listen, if you guys have a problem, shut your mouth, keep it to yourself, and live with it?
Well, let me answer that question for you. Never. And the reason? Half the people in the country follow that philosophy, believe in it. So where are you going with that? That's the reality, isn't it?
I don't think that many people really believe in it. Just as I got out of my dental office, I talked to the three women that were there and three people that were there, and only one of them actually kind of knew who Fauci was. Nobody knew anything else that was going on in the news. And so do people really agree with the Democratic Party?
Well, I don't know. They vote for him.
No, the Democratic Party.
They vote for him. Same way Republicans vote for Republicans. It's reality.
I just think that. Yeah, I just think, though, unfortunately, most of the Democrats are actually uninformed of what is actually
Well,
happening and what they're actually voting for.
And they will say the same thing about Republicans, and you know that. You know, you're Scott. You're smart enough, Scott. You know that. You know,
well,
it's.
we can say this. I voted for Trump in the 2020 election because I knew that it was going to turn socialist if he didn't get in. Did the Democrats know that? No.
No, they wanted it. That's the problem. That's the problem. The party has moved more progressive as time goes on, and you have the AOCs out there, you know, wanting to give away the farm to everybody for everything. And that's the nature of the beast. That's what the party has done. And I think what happens, and I think history will show this, Scott, as the country gets farther and farther to one side or the other, the country reacts negatively and eventually votes them out. And that works for both sides. And if you know, if you can accept that philosophy that the country will wake up, then 2022 ought to be a good year for Republicans.
Well, I hope so.
Well, yeah, so do I. But that's, you know, but that's the reality of it, is that while we may view it one way, and you've articulated your view very clearly, half the country doesn't believe that. So they want it. They, you know, a lot of people in this country have their hand out. They want government to grease their palm with every nickel they can get out of it. And
That I agree with.
And the other hand is the other hand, which takes the money out of the pocket to pay the taxes, is tightly clenched. They don't want to give anything. They only want to take. Doesn't work that way. Can't work that way.
I agree, but I you know, for Biden for this agenda, I don't think they wanted this agenda. I think a lot of the people just didn't want Trump, and I hate to say that, but they.
Well,
just,
no,
they
that's
didn't like
there
the
is
way he
truth to
talked.
that. There is truth to that. Absolutely. You know, I think Donald Trump, and you know, when I voted for Trump, I voted for him for his policies. I don't like the man. I never have, but I don't care about whether I like the way he talks or not. What I want is action. I want the policies that he brought to the table. Now, I think in a lot of ways, and this is just my personal opinion, while I agree with his policies and philosophies of what he wanted to do with the country, I think his mouth was his worst enemy. And I also think that he didn't handle COVID as well as he could have, because if he had handled it a lot better, he'd still be president. Now, that's my personal opinion as an observer.
You're probably right, but I think he had a lot of obstacles because everything he said about COVID, the media and the Democrats just went the opposite.
Yeah.
So it was never really a fair shake, which was unfortunate for us, the
Well,
American people.
The problem also was the media and the mainstream media. I'm talking about, for the large part, didn't like Donald Trump. So, you know, they only reported the negatives to a large degree.
Made up negatives.
And
Made up negatives.
well, some made up, yeah. But as I go back on what I said, his mouth was his worst enemy, and they were more than happy to take his remarks even out of context and you know, make a story out of it. So I just have to accept reality, Scott. That's the way I am. As much as I might like to think that the country all ought to see it my way, I know that's not true. And I know it's never going to be true.
If the media did their job like they used to do years ago, I think we'd have a much better group of people voting, more informed people, because now the media, a lot of the mainstream, they cover up. They are an infomercial for the Democratic Party, and a lot of times, and it's just not fair to the people because they're getting bad misinformation intentionally.
Yeah,
But
well,
then it's the voters' fault for not searching it out.
Yeah, but I, you know, while there may be some truth to that, I think the bigger truth is social media has got a lot to do with it, and that's unfortunate because that's uncontrollable. So, hey, all right, listen, appreciate the conversation as always, Scott. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Don't forget 989. Yeah, I know. 989-752-6111. Got to get used to it. I was lucky when they said, we have to start using the 989. I went through my contact list, most of it. I would I got to clean it out. I got people in there I haven't talked to in years. But for some reason, whatever reason, when I put numbers in my contact list in my phone, I always put the area code, even in local. So all my numbers were okay. So I got lucky. Didn't have to go through my contact list and keep adding area code after area code after area code. Anyhow, we'll pause. We will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show on this Monday, November 1st.
Goodbye, summer. Yes, it is that time of year again to think about preparing for the cold winter months ahead. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning would like to take a moment to remind homeowners to schedule a fall heating system checkup before it gets too cold. A complete heating system check is more than just a quick look. A complete system check involves the right kind of testing equipment and tools and the experience and knowledge to perform the tests. You can rely on the professionals at Reamer for a complete system clean and check. Fall is also a good time to have your sump pump checked and replaced if it's over 4 years old. With all the crazy rainstorms and power outages we're experiencing, a battery or water-powered backup pump is also a good idea. Call the professionals at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning today to schedule a heating system tune-up and sump pump check. Don't wait until it's too late. Winter is just around the corner. Find Reamer on their website, reamerplumbing.com, or call 792-8738.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
If you're with Verizon, 18 too much. Switching to Pure Talk saves the average family over $800 a year. Just dial pound 250 and say Jill 50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill 50.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it because we've added more vehicles to our fleet. And while we don't come down your chimney, we can pick up presents for you and yours. So if making more holiday deliveries to homes in the U.S. than anyone else seems like magic, that means we're doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com/helpers.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The WSGW Morning Team Show. WSW online poll, the billionaire tax. Democrats continue to advance ideas related to funding government spending and being referred to as the billionaire tax. Under this proposal, people with $1 billion in assets or $100 million in income for 3 consecutive years would be brought into a new tax system. The plan would be targeting about 600 to 700 people. Some Democratic leaders are saying it's not a wealth tax, but a tax on unrealized capital gains of exceptionally wealthy individuals. Some critics are suggesting this could maybe depress venture capital in the future, maybe even depress the stock market. Our poll question for you is, would you favor a billionaire tax to help fund some of the government spending that's being proposed? It's yes, it's no, it's I'm not sure. We want to know what you think. Go to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote.
The Morning Team Show with Charlie, Dave, and Pat. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back here on WSGW. And Carl is with us in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art, and thanks for your help Saturday night at the Arson Watch.
Thanks for yours, too. But Carl and I spent a little time seeing each other Saturday. I do my annual ride-along with the Saginaw Fire Department, and we always head over to the gathering place for the Arson Watch folks. Carl was there getting his light for his car and ready to go out and patrol.
Yes. and the hot dogs were really good.
The
this
hot
year.
dogs were really good, yes. So was that little, I don't know if you tried that little caramel crunch stuff, but boy, it was good too.
My wife had some of that. She
Yeah,
liked that.
yeah. And it was a relatively quiet night. There was one call about 1:30 in the morning, thereabouts. And
yeah, I heard that.
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, but overall pretty good. Getting back to the vaccines and people getting shots, you said before, you've gotten the shot, but you think it should be a matter of personal choice. I'm just afraid if that's the policy, a matter of personal choice, I'm not sure that's going to get us past this thing. It just seems like if we leave it up to people on their own, then we're not going to get past this. It's just going to go on and on. It just seems to make so much sense to me that if we want to get past this and get back to normal, then we have to take some steps to do it, and it's just, I tell that some of these people just man up, you got to get a shot, just, it's not that big a deal, it's just, and I saw, apparently in New York, you probably saw city workers, I think it's today is the deadline.
Yesterday, I think today would be the day for the beginning of the layoffs, I believe. Or the unpaid leave.
It seems to me, especially, firefighters and policemen who have taken an oath to serve the public, I don't think their objections stand up to, and I think if they don't come into work, then do you think they should be fired? What do you think should happen to firemen and police that, call a sick out in a situation like this?
Well, sick out, that's one set of circumstances. Not following the mandate laid down by the mayor is different. And he said they're not going to be paid. But at the same time, what's interesting is New York City is begging for volunteer firefighters from Long Island and upstate New York, because it's estimated that close to 1/3 of the FD New York staff remain unvaccinated ahead of today's deadline. And that will close 26 firehouses in New York City. Here's the part of it that kind of bugs me a little bit. A lot of that 1/3 have already had COVID. Is their antibody level any different, more or less, than people who have had the vaccine? And should they be included in that mandate? Now, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm only asking the question. But we never hear about that. It's never put into the mix. It's not, mandate to get vaccinated unless you've had COVID and you have the antibodies. How about we test for the antibodies to see if these people need the vaccine?
Well, is there a testing?
There's a way to test for antibodies. Of course there is. You test for antibodies. And if they have the same number of antibodies as somebody who's been vaccinated, why should they be vaccinated?
Well, that seems to make sense.
But that's not part of it.
Okay, but you can't. They would have to have a valid test, not.
Well, obviously a valid test. Yeah. So what's a valid test? Valid test is administered by a health department, or in the case of the New York Fire Department, I'm sure they have people that can administer valid tests.
As long as they wouldn't object to taking the test.
I doubt if they would. If it meant keeping their job, I'd take the test. Of course.
Well, yeah. Too, Art.
I mean, if you're telling me, here's your choices. Vaccine mandate. If you don't get the vaccine, you'll be laid off. Unless you've had COVID and you have the antibodies, and we can test for those. If you demonstrate that you have the antibodies, then you don't have to get the vaccine. That to me is reasonable. But we don't hear that.
Or you can come in with just a test showing you've been tested for COVID in the last X number of days.
Well, that would be nice too. They don't do that either. That's not part of it.
It seems to me there could be, but I think the larger
Could be.
principle
They're
is,
absolutists,
well,
and that's what's wrong with it.
well,
One size fits
still,
all.
I think it's time for some of these people to man up. I mean, we get shots when we're 5 years
Well,
old.
and I know that, and
or-
that's mandated, and I understand all of that.
when you listen to the excuses that these people give, it's the excuses are not landed in reason. They're landed in these conspiracy theories.
Well,
about
some are, yeah.
becoming sterile and microchips.
Yeah.
And
No, I understand that.
Bamboo.
Yeah, but that's not universal. There are those who have a fear of vaccines or maybe react negatively to vaccines or have religious reasons for not taking vaccines. And none of that was included either in that mandate in New York. So, I mean, there were a lot of things that could have been done to make it palatable, and none of them are there. It's just de Blasio sitting behind his desk saying, do it.
Well, I guess
But
they're having an election.
He's
in
not
New
my.
York.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So it'll be interesting to see which way they go. All right, Carl. Hey, good to see you this weekend. Take care.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye now. All right, let's take a look at the old clock here. It's getting pretty tight, so we probably won't get another call in. But now, listen, there are and should be exceptions to everything. But as I said to Carl, none of them were included in de Blasio's mandate. You will get vaccinated or we'll lay you off or put you on unpaid leave as of November 1st. Oh, you had COVID and you have antibodies? Too bad. Oh, you have a religious objection? Too bad. Oh, you're allergic to the vaccines? Too bad. Basically, that's what he said. When you have one size fits all, it never works out right. All right, we have to take our last break, and then we'll come back, tell you what's ahead next hour here on the Art Lewis Show.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy. A fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Fever is the and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
All right, that wraps up this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Next hour, we are going to talk about the truck shortage and truck driver shortage in this country with Tra Williams from Field Force Truck Driving. All of that ahead. After the News from CBS and the local report. So stick around. We'll be back to talk to Tra and you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by...
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington. We begin in Scotland, where the UN Climate Summit has started. World leaders gathering to try to figure out how to stop global warming. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson kicked it off.
Let us think about those billions of beady eyes that are watching us around the world, increasingly edgy and disenchanted. And let us think of the billions more of the unborn, whose anger will be all the greater if we fail.
President Biden is set to speak shortly. The Supreme Court is hearing challenges to Texas's controversial abortion law. CBS's Steve Dorsey with details from Washington.
The court will hear challenges, one from abortion providers and another from the Justice Department. The Biden administration and women's health activists argue the Texas law is an attack on Roe versus Wade. Texas says it's a matter for its courts right now, not the Supreme Court.
In Wisconsin today, a high-profile trial gets underway as we hear from CBS's Jennifer Kuiper.
Kyle Rittenhouse was 17 when he walked through the streets of Kenosha, Wisconsin in the summer of 2020 with a rifle. It happened after protests and looting broke out surrounding the shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man, by a white police officer. Rittenhouse was claiming self-defense, shot 3 men, killing 2. Prosecutors say he acted
A staggering number. The global death toll from COVID has now topped 5 million in less than 2 years. Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University Medical Center says this number reemphasizes the need to get everyone around the world vaccinated.
While other countries are still experiencing this pandemic, new variants can occur in those circumstances, and they could come home to affect our population.
CBS's Jim Krasula tells us what Colorado is doing amid another spike in cases.
With COVID-19 cases again surging, the state of Colorado will allow overwhelmed hospitals to turn away new patients. Signed by Governor Jared Polis brings the state closer to full-blown rationing of medical care. Hospital staffing shortages in Colorado have been severe.
The CEO of Barclays Bank is stepping down after an investigation into his ties with Jeffrey Epstein. Here's CBS's Vicky Barker in London.
British regulators say there's no evidence Jess Staley knew of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes when he worked as the billionaire's financial advisor in his past job at JP Morgan. But it appears there were discrepancies in the accounts he gave them of that relationship, so Staley is out as CEO of Britain's Barclays Bank.
Markets are open and seeing some green so far. Your Dow is up 74 points. This is CBS News.
Need to hire great candidates? You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Modernize your home's lighting at Menards. Turn any recessed light into an energy-efficient LED.
Drop.
It's Trey. Thank you.
Trey.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's spelled strangely.
Yeah. I'll be with you after the news. And I turn the videos off when we're not on the air, so don't panic.
No problem. Take your time.
Talk to you then.
November 6th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask.
questions, express your opinions. Around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show for this Monday, November 1st. We're going to talk about a topic for a little while that is very much in the news because it definitely affects supply chain. And when supply chain goes wrong, it affects what you pay at the grocery store and for goods and services. We're talking about the trucking industry and the lack of truck drivers. This is not a new problem, but we're going to talk about it this morning with someone who is involved in trying to fix it anyway. He is the CEO of Fleet Force Truck Driving Schools, and we say good morning to Trey Williams. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me in. I'm excited for this conversation.
God, you're welcome. Trey, let's start with some premises here. First of all, truck driver shortages are not new. The numbers they're banding about today of being 80,000 short is a significant number, but I can remember a number of years ago, the number was 50,000. So the shortage has always been there. And by the way, just for background, I had a CDL for a lot of years. Although mine was a Class B because I drove motor coach. I had a tour company. But I'm familiar with the logging requirements and all that stuff. So we'll get to that.
Yes,
but I am correct, though, that there's always been a shortage of truck drivers, particularly over-the-road drivers.
For the past 20 years or so, there's been a shortage that amounts to pent-up demand. There's always, in any profession, folks who are retiring and new folks coming back in. But about 20, 25 years ago, the disparity was created between those who are retiring and leaving the over-the-road industry, particularly, and those who were moving into that field. And as you say, you don't accumulate an 80,000 driver need overnight. This is something that happened over a 2.5 decade period.
It just was exacerbated by the pandemic.
100%. Yeah. The trucking industry and everyone within it, as you well know, has always known that this was a problem that we were working on and growing increasingly urgent. The public just wasn't aware of it until they started looking for toilet paper on the shelves last March, and got a healthy dose of what the trucking industry has been dealing with for more than 2 decades.
Is the shortage? How do I put this? Is the shortage in captured or paid drivers that work for a Schneider or a big company, or even a small company, or is the shortage in the owner operators, or is it both?
It's both, and it's in every aspect of the industry. You mentioned Class B, and I'll tell you right now that we have an enormous request from every carrier, every company, every school board that we work with for Class B drivers. So, the hot topic, the news cycle is the Class A driver, and everyone loves talking about the over-the-road aspect, but that's just one part of this. You can go to any school board in America and ask not if they need bus drivers, but how many, and they'll probably tell you they need dozens, if not hundreds.
You can go to the charter companies; they'll tell you the same thing.
Yes, sir.
I was talking to a friend of mine that owns one locally, and they have 12 buses put up because they don't have drivers to drive them, and they're over-the-road coaches.
Yeah.
So I know it's a universal problem. So the question then is, what's lacking in the job that doesn't attract people? Because, I mean, over-the-road drivers can make some decent money.
Very decent. Yeah.
So what's lacking? What's the missing element here?
I actually don't think it's the job itself that's lacking. I think that over the period of the past 20 years, there's obviously been a technological revolution, and some of the younger generations have not enjoyed the benefit of the reality of the narrative of being a professional driver. And I use this term all the time. You can use the term trucker, and people like to use that stereotypically and imply someone who's low skill and low wage. And I assure you, neither of those things are true.
Well, country music image.
Exactly. So really, I think if there's something we could do, if we had a time machine, we wanted to go back and fix this problem 25 years ago, we would change that narrative to talk about the fact that an experienced trucker or an experienced driver is akin to a corporate vice president in their compensation levels. So listen, 15 years ago, I was a corporate vice president, and I know truckers who make way more money than I made working suit and tie 9 to 5.
So let me ask this question. This is kind of a technical inside question, but I think anyone who's been in the CDL realm understands that for many, many, many years, a lot of professional drivers became very good at fudging logs. They don't want to admit it, but they became very good at fudging logs.
Sure.
In the last number of years with electronic logging now, that's pretty well kept that off now, which means they can't drive as much, can't drive as far in one day. Has that impacted the shortage?
I don't think so. If it did, it's in a fraction of the shortage. I think that the driving time and non-driving time behind the wheel is appropriately regulated. Listen, I've got family out on the roads. I don't want someone who's been staring at the windshield for 16 hours.
Me either.
Next to me on the interstate or to my mother or anyone else.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so those are appropriately said, and I don't think anybody in the trucking industry is going to ask more of the existing drivers. I think that would be unfair to them. I think it would be unsafe. I think the 100% of the problem is we just don't have as many people entering the industry as we have exiting the industry. This 10,000 people a day turn 65 in America, and among those, a large percentage of them are professional drivers. So a lot of them are retiring. In fact, ATA, the American Trucking Association, came out with a study that said 1,200 drivers retire in America every single week.
Yeah, that's a lot. We got a caller. Let's Dave in Midland is a truck driver. He's on the line with us. Dave, good morning. You're on with Trey Williams.
Hey, good morning, Art. Good morning to you.
Morning.
How we doing?
Good. What's your question?
Good. Well, not a question, but a comment.
Okay.
You asked what's lacking, and you just asked the question if you thought that this ELD had anything to do with it. I can't count the number of guys that told me that as soon as those electronic logs go into my truck, they're retiring. And that's what they did. The reason you had to fudge your log books somewhere along the way during the day to take that 2-hour nap, you can't do that anymore. Once that clock starts, you're on the clock, and you got to run 11 hours to get your mileage in. And, you run into heavy traffic, you get off the road, you go have lunch. Well, you can't do that in season now. The regulations have forced so many drivers out of the industry. The job I'm doing now pays next to nothing to what I could be doing. I could fly out to California, get paid $15,000 to sign on, and go run truck for $1,000 a year. But I don't want to do it because there's no place to park. You don't have anywhere decent to eat. You don't get any respect out on the road. Who the hell wants to do this job when you don't get paid decent? You ran ragged from your company, and you got federal regulations crawling up your backside every time you turn the corner.
Well, Trey, that's got to hang on a minute, Dave. That has to represent a certain percentage of truckers that are getting out and not doing over the road, doesn't it?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not implying that the regulations haven't limited things. I'm saying that the significant pent up demand is due more to a lack of people entering the industry than it is the regulations in place. Now, listen, he's right. There may be people exiting the industry because they feel underpaid or they feel overregulated, and that only makes the problem worse because more people are leaving the industry than entering the industry. So yeah, we agree on that contention.
All right. Hey, Dave, I appreciate the call. Drive safe. Yeah.
You look at the driving school. All right. Later on.
Yep. Drive safe. Trey, hang on. I got to take a break, and we will be back. We're talking to Trey Williams. He is the CEO of Field Force Truck Driving Schools. We'll talk about that too. When we return here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, we'll be back after these notes.
At Midland Furniture Garage, personal service and great design is everywhere and within all budgets. Our premium style, high quality furniture can be customized for maximum comfort. Discover our recliners, window treatments, sofas, and more by Stressless, Norwalk, Hunter Douglas, and others. Come into Midland Furniture Garage, Midland's creative source, and see what's possible for yourself. Midland Furniture Garage, 34 Ashman Circle in Midland, and online at midlandfurnituregarage.com.
You work hard to find the right soybeans for your fields, and you stand by your work. So do we. That's why we put our soybean seed through strenuous testing and provide precise varieties and expert agronomic support for your operation. Ask your authorized retailer or your BASF Agronomic Solutions advisor about Credenz, because credibility isn't just part of our name, it's our commitment. Credenz soybean seed. For the experts that understand, credibility is earned. Always read and follow label directions.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. Investors are anticipating news on the economy from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday and from the Labor Department with the monthly employment report on Friday. Deere & Company shares are gaining now that striking workers will vote tomorrow on a new tentative contract proposal with bigger raises. Saudi Aramco saw its profit jump in the summer quarter as energy demand picked up and prices rose. Coca-Cola is taking over Body Armor. It was a partial investor in the sports drink. Now it'll pay $5.6 billion to own it. Apple is working on an iPhone feature that will have your phone call 911 for you if you're in a collision. The phone would measure a sudden spike in G-forces on impact. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID, but one thing is for sure. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect the doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is. Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Trey Williams, the CEO of Fleet Force Truck Driving Schools. He's also authored a book called Boss Brain. We'll talk about that later on. But Trey, let's look at the business owners out there today. What should they be doing? I mean, what lessons are there for them? How do they counteract what's happening?
Yeah, I can't stress this enough. I was at the Florida Trucking Association conference a couple of months ago, and we all came to an agreement on this, that we simply have to make sure that we're framing the narrative in a way that shows being a professional driver has career high compensation possibilities and opens the door to entrepreneurship for those who want to become owner operators or perhaps have some other drivers driving for them. So that narrative has not been adequately formed within the industry or outside the industry for that matter. And entry-level drivers is the only solution to this. You could increase the driving time for every truck driver in America by an hour or two, and it wouldn't make a dent in the need that we have.
Yeah. Takes bodies.
It does indeed.
Got to have bodies in the driver's seats. No two ways about it. And actually, and the trucks of today are not the trucks of yesterday, are they?
The trucks today are amazing. I can't say enough about it. I'm jealous of every time I see a brand new sleeper and how beautiful they are on the inside. We don't have theirs on our track right now, but we're working hard toward it because there's some really miracles of modern engineering going down the road.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You also talk about something called reskill. What is it?
So we've been working on making sure that those professional drivers who maybe have been in the industry for a while and want to have the opportunity to transfer that experience and skills into a local or regional opportunity. So we do a lot of refresher work. We do a lot of updating work for those who I've got instructors that work for me who were grandfathered in for their CDL when they had what used to be called a chauffeur's license. You may remember that. So,
I was one of those.
Were you really? All right. So you know what I mean. And you make a great point. The trucks are dramatically different. The industry is going to automatics largely. There's a lot of accident avoidance technology, and it's important to be up to date on those and make yourself a viable and attractive candidate for those. Not that carriers right now are choosers. I think beggars can't be choosers when it comes to drivers these days.
But that could be a problem. I mean, there's a shortage, and we want drivers in the seats, but you want a competent driver, you want a safe driver.
Certainly.
You really have to be careful lowering your standards, don't you?
Well, I think it's a misconception, and the data proves this, that the entry-level drivers are not involved in significantly higher numbers of accidents than experienced drivers. I think I heard someone at the conference a couple of weeks ago say, statistically speaking, you want to get rid of someone when they hit year 5 and been accident-free, because that's the point where they get comfortable, where they really know what they're doing. They're more likely to get distracted, pick up their phone, et cetera. And I'm in no way trying to vilify experienced drivers. I'm saying that we all do this. We all get complacent.
Yeah.
Familiarity breeds complacency in every aspect of life.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. But there is a screening process for new drivers. I mean, you're not just taking anybody off the street.
No, that's the case. So you can't even get your permit where I live without taking a written exam. That's not an easy win, to be honest with you. A lot of folks who don't study for that fail it. The permit then moves over into a DOT physical and drug screen before you can be part of our training program. We follow FMCSA guidelines. We've already instituted entry-level driver training changes that are coming next February. So we're a 160-hour program for Class A that you can do in 4 weeks. It's a 40-hour program for Class B that you can do in 1 week. So there's a lot of hurdles, and then the CDL exam now is not what it once was. Every one of my very, very experienced instructors will tell you that the day that they show up, they would not have passed that pre-trip inspection because it was not as inclusive as it is now. A full form pre-trip inspection for a truck these days is over 100 items that you have to remember and check to be able to pass.
I do remember at one time doing that pre-trip inspection, and it was a joke. In terms of what the inspector required of me,
Sure.
And
yeah, that's certainly not the case these days.
Yeah, they're a lot more specific now about that. No doubt about it. So you say that 4 weeks, you can take someone from a car, put them in a truck, and teach them how to drive.
So we can teach them to pass the CDL exam. So let's make sure we're clear about this. So just like going to college doesn't teach you how to work at Microsoft, going to Fleet Force doesn't teach you how to be an over-the-road trucker. So what happens after you pass the CDL exam is just like when you graduate from college, you have the credentials that enable you to move to that next step. And every great carrier has a finishing program internally where they place that driver with an experienced driver as a team for a period of time until that person's ready. So we're in no way implying that after 4 weeks, you should turn someone loose by themselves in 80,000 pounds, 80 feet long.
So where is Fleet Force located and how many schools do you have?
So our main headquarters is in Central Florida, outside of Orlando, in a little area called Winter Haven, where we've been for about 20 years. And we've expanded into Southwest Florida and the Sarasota, Bradenton region purely because of demand. I mean, we're busting at the seams. We have waiting lists at our main headquarters. We're going to be expanding throughout Central Florida next year with 3 more locations in partnership with the State College System of Florida, just to be able to make this training available to underserved and underemployed communities.
So what do you do to recruit drivers, and what should other truck driving schools and trucking companies be doing?
Well, for us at Fleet Force, we're fortunate not have to do a lot. Everyone knows the shortage. Everyone knows the compensation is on the rise. In Florida, the average salary for a trucker is over $80,000. So there's a lot of compensation coming in there. Our candidates usually have 2 or 3 job offers waiting on them before they graduate, making over $50,000 a year just to start. And that number jumps up very, very quickly within the first couple of years. So I think the word is out on the demand and how that obviously affects the compensation associated with it. But for carriers, I'll say this, and I think we had this conversation at the conference a couple of weeks ago. Stealing each other's drivers does not solve this problem.
Yeah.
Does not solve this problem. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I know everyone's done what they have to do to make their company successful, and I'm not trying to vilify anyone for that. But we have got to start talking about bringing more people into the industry and treating your existing people the way they want to be treated so that they're not available to be stolen, right? If you lose your girlfriend, you've got to at least be at fault in that some part, right? So if you treat someone the way they're supposed to be treated, then they don't end up getting lured away by someone else. So I think most carriers treat their employees really well. I think I know that 97% of all the trucking companies in America have fewer than 20 trucks. So there's some limitations that some of these smaller companies can put in place for benefits. But that's how capitalism works. And I think those who are competitive and want to be at the tip of the spear will make sure they focus on those benefits.
Compensation. Let's take local truckers who don't go over the road and sleep in their own beds every night out of this picture for a minute. Compensation for a long time based on mileage. Is it still based on mileage, or is it moved more to an hourly or salaried type system?
So we still see mileage. We still see bonuses, and we still see a lot of variables being included in that. I tell you, we see A-class drivers for large food distribution companies who get paid by the mile, the box, and the stop. Has nothing to do with the number of hours, and that incentivizes them to get that work done quickly. And the same with a lot of food and beverage deliveries. I think a lot of folks, when they hear trucker, they automatically think over the road, but all the food that you had delivered to that restaurant you went to showed up in an A-class truck. All the beer and liquor that you delivered likely showed up in a B-class truck. And there's a lot of innovation going on there for compensation.
All right. Hang on for one more segment. I want to talk about your book when we come back. We're talking to Trey Williams. He is the CEO of Fleet Force Truck Driving Schools down in Florida, talking about the truck driver shortage. And we will be back with Trey and more after these notes.
Hi, this is Jessica. Is your current checking account rewarding you? If it's not, it's time to open a You First reward checking at United Financial Credit Union. It's easy to get started and easy to earn rewards just by doing your normal banking activities each month. And you get to choose what reward best fits you.
United Financial Credit Union. Serving the proud community.
Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first. Visit our website or give us a call to learn more.
Some restrictions may apply. See credit union for details. Must meet eligibility requirements. Federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving our community.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. Needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual is your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. Divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you talking to Trey Williams. He is the CEO of Fleet Force Truck Driving Schools, but he's also an expert and national speaker on entrepreneurship and has written a book called Boss Brain. And it unlocks your entrepreneurial instincts and you live the real American dream. And entrepreneurship, I read something, and I think it was on Amazon about this, Trey, that they said something about we were born to be entrepreneurs, but we're taught to be employees.
That's dead right. I appreciate you saying that. It's a mantra of mine. It is. So a lot of folks don't realize that entrepreneurship in America is an all-time low. In 2006, more businesses closed than opened for the first time in American history, and self-employment has steadily declined in this country since the mid-1940s. We rank among the lowest of any industrialized country in the world for self-employment.
Let me ask this question. It may be a little political in nature, and if you don't want to answer it, I'll understand. But it seems to me that there are those amongst us who are trying to give capitalism a dirty word, make capitalism a dirty word,
Sure,
corporations
sure.
a dirty word. And I think it's causing some folks to hesitate to make that investment, to become that entrepreneur, to become the American dream, so to speak. What do you think about it?
I regardless of what I think, every time capitalism has been tried, it's worked. Every time socialism has been tried, it's failed. I don't know how much more to say that. I find a lot of irony when people stand, holding their $1,000 iPhone, tweeting about the terrible aspects of capitalism, when the poverty level in the United States is about $12,000 a year, and the median income for the world is $10,000 a year. So what that means is the poorest people in the United States earn 20% more than half the globe.
Yeah. So what do you tell people about entrepreneurship and why they should become entrepreneurs?
So about 70% of the American workforce indicated in a 2018 study that they would prefer to be self-employed. And all that translates to 100 million people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs out there who aren't converting that inner calling into action. In fact, the word entrepreneur comes from a Sanskrit word that means inner calling. So I use that term specifically. What I say is this: it's one thing to say you'll live a happier, more fulfilling life, and there's an opportunity to control your own compensation ceiling. Of course, everybody knows that. But here's the real reason why I'm on this mission. Entrepreneurs donate, on average, about $1,200 more a year to charity. They volunteer more for charitable organizations. They're more civically engaged. They vote more often. They commit less crime. They're healthier. They live longer. Their children are 7 to 8 times more likely to be entrepreneurs. So self-employment has this significant ripple effect throughout society. You can go to any city in America that has a high rate of self-employment, and you'll find a safer, more harmonious and flourishing community. And the opposite is also true. Go to any city in America where self-employment is incredibly low, and you'll see the opposite. You'll see cities with lower levels of health, higher levels of crime, and lower life expectancies.
I think it's reasonable, though, to tell someone who wants to be an entrepreneur they have to go in with their eyes open. If they think entrepreneurship means, okay, you own the business, you don't have to do anything, you're in for a rude awakening.
I think that is the case, but I don't find that most entrepreneurs think that. I think that that may be an excuse for those who are fearful of making that transition. And I understand there's a lot of myths out there about entrepreneurship. There's this thing that going around that everyone says 9 out of 10 small businesses fail, and that's just not true. It's just flat not true. So a lot of studies have been done to dispel those myths. And what I tell folks is I work very, very hard owning my own business, and I love every single second of it.
Yeah. So let's get back to truck drivers for a second here, because when you deal with them, do you suggest that they are better off as owner operators and being their own entrepreneur?
I've seen some of them decide they want to be an owner operator and then decide, due to maintenance costs or the complexities of it, that they enjoy someone cutting the check to them. I think it's difficult to be an owner operator if you're early in the business and you don't have a lot of understanding of how the business, the money flows. Everyone, they know how to drive maybe, but they don't understand the aspects of the business. But that's true for any business, right? Learn that business first.
Can I drag you one more segment?
I love this.
Hang around.
I'm enjoying myself, please.
Good. All right. And we have a caller waiting. Tom, hang on in Bay City. We will get to you. We got to take a break. We're talking to Trey Williams. He is the CEO of Fleet Force Truck Driving Schools and the author of Boss Brain, a book about entrepreneurship. We'll talk more about that and get a call in for him when we come back here on the Art Lewis Show. And let me ask you how your sleep was last night, because in this world today, we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. And you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you are using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world. Don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1-hour window delivery of a mattress to your home. You don't have to wait around all day. By the way, if you have an RV or a boat, and I'll add something, maybe you have a sleeper cab, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. More with Trey when we return after these notes.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we'll finally end COVID-19.
At CDW, we get new work environments can bring new distractions.
My kitchen is my new office. It's also home to our new family smoothie machine.
Well, CDW experts can pre-configure Dell Latitude 9000 series laptops with built-in AI that learns how users work to minimize disruptions and help you and your organization stay productive. Ooh, even when life gets messy.
I'll get the hose.
For technology that helps you adapt, trust Dell Technologies and IT Orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at exergen.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
Democrats had to fabricate white supremacists. So I guess Democrats terror threaten America.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with entrepreneur and author Trey Williams, and Tom is in Bay City. Tom, you're on with Trey. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, the trades are excellent. My son finally decided at 23 years old to go into the electrical lineman trade. So we couldn't be more thrilled, and that's going to include a CDL with that with his graduation.
Ah. Well, you're going to go work for an electrical company, one of the big power companies?
Yeah, he's going to, well, when he graduates, he's going to Lansing Community College. He will have a guaranteed job at Consumers or DTE. But the reason I called, you're talking about de Blasio earlier. Here's my question, I guess, to either one of you guys. Does he truly believe what he's doing with the vaccine mandates? Or is he just doing it for votes? Now, my thoughts are, if he truly believes it in his heart, he should be for that. Whether he's wrong or not, that's for the people to decide, vote him out. But if he's just doing it for politics, that's where it makes it wrong.
Yeah, well, I don't like his politics. He's not doing it just for politics, but I don't like his politics. So, I mean, that's a whole separate thing. But let me carry this a different way. Trey, where are we in the trucking industry with vaccinations and mandates?
That conversation is going on right now internally quite a bit. Everyone saw what happened with thousands of flights get canceled when people exercised their liberty. And if you think that was tough trying to get across the nation those days, you can meet those same challenges within the trucking industry. If you want food and groceries on your shelves and the freedoms that we're all afforded, everyone should be afforded those same freedoms. And the 1.5 million or so over the road guys that are out there, just statistically speaking, right, there's going to be a percentage of them that have chosen not to take the vaccine.
Yeah. All right, Tom, I appreciate the call. Thank you. And go ahead real quick. One
quick question. You being a smaller outfit, are you at a disadvantage because you're having trouble finding parts for your trucks, or are you leasing your trucks and they're being replaced right away?
Oh, he's a school, so it's a little... Yeah, go ahead. But that's an interesting question. Go ahead.
Yeah, we do own some of our own trucks, and we also lease some of our trucks, and we also rent. It's a combination of all of those things. It's a really delicate balance, and it's dependent largely on the reliability of that particular model. So we do all three of those.
All right. Very good, Tom. Thank you.
Great. Thanks.
Yep. So, Trey, we've all seen the images of the West Coast ports and the thousands of containers sitting there waiting to be moved. You see an end?
I know Governor DeSantis opened up the Florida ports and invited everyone waiting offshore all across the North America to bring those ships to Florida, and we welcome those ships into Florida. Florida is the fastest growing state in the union, the third most populous. We've got a very business-friendly environment. There's no personal state income tax. There's a lot of reasons to be in business in Florida. I was very happy that the governor did that, mostly for personal reasons. I don't mind saying that it's going to shine a light on the need for entry-level drivers because we are going to stack up containers, right? Yeah. But look, I would rather them be stacked up on land here and let those ships go back and get more, to head back this way than waiting offshore. That's just an unnecessary barrier. So America needs 1.1 million drivers over the next 10 years. All right, that's 110,000 a year. For 10 years, that's 350 every single day. This is not going to be solved in the next few months. It's not going to be solved in the next 2 years. So we have to work together collaboratively and stop pointing fingers like who's to blame on this and realize that this is part of the lifeblood of this country. And if we want everything to run as smoothly and to be able to enjoy life the way we're used to enjoying it here, we have to work together to find a solution to these logistical challenges that we're facing.
So I have to ask, if we're, as we started the program saying, 80,000, the number that's being bandied around, if we're short 80,000 drivers right now, do we have a lot of trucks parked, or is there going to be a shortage of trucks if we ever got all those drivers?
There's already a shortage of trucks. I don't know anyone who has trucked parks. I can't even find containers. We use a variety of different types of containers to teach backing skills and maneuvering on our track. Yeah. And it's impossible to find just a container. So resources aren't being wasted right now. Everything, it's all hands on deck, and every man is working very hard within this industry. And I think that there's just an enormous pent up demand of 80,000 currently, but that is just a small fraction of the million that we need ongoing.
And let's talk about the price of those cabs. Gone up a little bit?
Well, just like there are a lot of cars sitting all across the world waiting on chips to be put into them, there are a lot of tractors out there waiting on chips to be put into them as well. I don't know anyone who's getting new trucks right now, at least in volume. I know some carriers that work directly with Freightliner and some others who those guys have come over and made an effort to get them the new trucks that they need because they work in a significant and exclusive relationship. But we're having a lot of the age of trucks increasing on the road right now. It's driving up the cost of used trucks, and it's going to drive up the cost of repairs and maintenance. That once you move one variable, it affects everything else in this equation.
Yeah. The book, Boss Brain, available where? Everywhere?
Sure. You can go on Amazon. I was excited. During my first week, I actually made it to number 9 in the startups and entrepreneurship category on Amazon. So very humbled and honored at everyone following and excited about this mission I'm on. And I'm on a mission to rescue 1 million aspiring entrepreneurs from traditional employment. And what I do with Fleet Force is just one part of that. So I welcome any of your listeners to go to TreyWilliams.com and engage in a conversation with me. And let's have a conversation about how we can revise the decline of American entrepreneurship.
And so that everyone understands, because I fell into this trap at the beginning, it's TRA, but pronounced Trey, not Tra, like I tried. TreyWilliams.com. Trey, this has been a great pleasure, sir.
I've enjoyed it so much. I look forward to coming back one day.
We'll have to do that. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. Trey Williams, and you can find him again at TreyWilliams.com and the book Boss Brain. We will take our last break, and then we'll be back to finish up and look ahead a little bit after these notes.
Hi, I'm Terry Rock. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now, after I met the pros at Medicare Choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. You cut a plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit. A customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement income. Call 989-899-7820, MedicareChoicesinfo.com. We'll walk you through every step.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. lcordell.com.
Hey team, we landed the contract!
Fire's web design studio just landed the gig of a lifetime.
It starts next week.
Their staff needs to double before the dream deal becomes a nightmare.
Front end, back end, project manager.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Many people are feeling overwhelmed and struggling with mental wellness these days. Call the Michigan COVID-19 hotline at 1-888-535-6136 and press 8 to talk with a Stay Well counselor. It's free and confidential. Learn more at michigan.gov/staywell. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Hi, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. And just a couple of notes about driving as an occupation, because I once did it as my second occupation, not as my first, but I did it and enjoyed it. I really enjoyed over the road. And now I was driving 45-foot motor coaches, and they're very comfortable to drive. I'll give you that. But you know, if you like the freedom to travel in the open road and every day a little different, trucking is a great career. And you can make very good money at trucking. So I wouldn't hesitate, nor would I hesitate to tell someone to check out motor coach companies that, you know, serve charter industries and tourist industries and local service. Great career if you're looking for it, looking for something a little different. That would be the way to go. And most of these companies point you in the right direction for training and offer on-the-job training in some cases to help you get your CDLs. So it's just something to think about. I want to thank Trey Williams for being with us today. Interesting guy. Again, the book is Boss Brain. Getting you out of the rut, becoming an entrepreneur. And his company is Fleet Force Truck Driving Schools in Florida. Thank him for being with us, and we thank you for joining us on the Art Lewis Show. Tomorrow, of course, we'll be back with lots more. Coming up on Focus, we're going to talk about the Holiday House Walk. That will be after the news, but the news, speaking of that, CBS News at the top of the hour brings you up to date on the world and the local, the national situation, I should say. Then we'll have a local report bringing you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. Holiday House Walk next on Focus. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kafin. The U.S. Supreme Court hearing arguments this morning on the restrictive new abortion law in Texas. Attorney Mark Heron represents the Center for Reproductive Rights.
Texas delegated enforcement to literally anywhere except its own state officials. The only conceivable reason for doing so was to evade federal court review.
Legal scholar Jessica Levinson.
The question is basically two things. Can the Department of Justice, the federal government, sue the state of Texas to stop this law? And can abortion providers sue state officials to stop this law?
The High Court declined to hear an appeal over whether the public should have access to opinions of the secret court that reviews government surveillance programs, and it passed on a dispute over transgender rights. Overseas, President Biden is in Scotland as a UN climate summit opens.
Will we act? Will we do what is necessary? Will we seize the enormous opportunity for us? Or will we condemn future generations to suffer?
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. The UN's weather agency says the rate at which sea levels are rising has doubled since the 1990s, and extreme weather events have become the new normal. It also says rising greenhouse gas levels in our atmosphere have, in its words, propelled the planet into uncharted territory.
Well, the global death toll from COVID-19 topped 5 million today. CBS's Dr. John LaPook.
This gut-wrenching milestone underscores the need for vaccine equity. Only about half the people in the world and less than 4% of those in low-income countries have received at least one shot of vaccine.
Correspondent Jim Krasula on another state making some tough decisions about medical care.
With COVID-19 cases again surging, the state of Colorado will allow overwhelmed hospitals to turn away new patients. An executive order signed by Governor Jared Polis brings the state closer to full-blown rationing of medical care.
Another rough day for some flyers. American Airlines has canceled more than 200 flights today.
Our flight from Philly to Fort Lauderdale was delayed twice and ultimately canceled.
The total number of cancellations since Friday now tops 2,000. The airline has blamed weather and staffing issues. With inflation at its highest point in 3 decades, the Federal Reserve this week will begin winding down the stimulus it's given the economy since the pandemic recession hit early last year. And right now on Wall Street, the Dow is up 36 points and the NASDAQ is 25 higher. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
There's never been a time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
I had a member who received an email that a reputable company that she works with was going to take a large amount of money out of her account. She was panicked and upset, and I walked through what she needed to do, told her the exact steps to do, and that I would keep an eye on her account. So she followed all of my instructions to the letter. And then the company that charged her account was aware that it was a scam, and they gladly and apologetically assured her that everything would be just fine and the money would not come out of her account. So she was very grateful.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recline. My son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 41 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Tuesday is Election Day in Michigan. Voters will find candidates for mayor, city council, village trustees, and different millage proposals in various communities. In the Great Lakes Bay region, however, there is very little on the ballot. Gas prices are down 2 cents since last week, but still more than $1 higher than this time last year. AAA dry state are paying an average of $3.27 per gallon for regular unleaded. A full 15-gallon tank of gas will cost you around $49, an increase of nearly $10 from last January. Industry's relationship with Mexico is being highlighted on the University of Michigan campus later this week. Here's more from Jeff Gilbert.
A new trade agreement, investment decisions, and tensions at the border are often the first things that come to mind when people talk about the auto industry's relationship with Mexico. Deanna Paez of the U of M's William Davidson Institute says Friday's virtual event will go beyond that.
Our broader intention really is to highlight some of that vision for a stronger U.S.-Mexico partnership, emerging opportunities right now in the automotive industry, understanding and providing some context on both the policy perspective and the industry perspective as well.
Friday's discussion will include former ambassadors from the U.S. and Mexico, as well as representatives from the major car makers.
That was Jeff Gilbert reporting. A new Michigan law that prevents authorities from locking up teens under 18 near adults is causing challenges for communities that don't have facilities to keep young offenders. The Associated Press near Traverse says Traverse City Police recently had to make arrangements with a county near Detroit to house a 16-year-old who was caught in Florida for a local road rage felony. Most counties don't have facilities for teens because of a lack of staff. The Grand Traverse County prosecutor says having a facility for younger offenders is a huge need. WSTW News Time, 11:07.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you online. Comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate with your reputation, call 800-417-5066. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-417-5066. That's 800-417-5066. 800-417-5066. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
WSTW News Time, 11:08. We could learn more today about two people found dead in a home near the Michigan State University campus a couple of hours after the rivalry game with Michigan. East Lansing police say the bodies were found Saturday night inside a residence on Halter Lane in the area of State and Chandler Roads, about 5 miles from Michigan State's main campus. Investigators have not released any identities. The cause of the deaths is unknown. However, police say there does not appear to be an active or ongoing threat to the community. A convenience store clerk was attacked by a man with a sword on Sunday in West Michigan's Easton Township near Ionia. The Ionia County Sheriff's Office says the attacker started to use a rope to try to tie the front door shut. When the clerk opened the door to investigate, the attacker stabbed him in his head and neck at More Perks on Blue Water Highway. The clerk tried to get away, but the man kept attacking him, then stole money and cigarettes and left. The clerk, a 56-year-old man from Lyon, suffered serious injuries and is in serious condition. The suspect, a 36-year-old man, was caught in a field. What words would you like to see banished next year? Lake Superior State University is working on its annual banished words list, and you have until November 30th to make an entry. Some suggestions already submitted include iconic and cancel culture. COVID-19 was big on last year's list and could be again this year. The list of banished words comes out on December 31st. When you see news happening, call the WSTW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with a high into the upper 40s. Winds out of the west around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight, partly low near 33. By Tuesday, sunshine, high 44 degrees. Wednesday, mostly sunny skies with a high around 44. Thursday, plenty of blue skies and sun, a high around 45. And for your Friday, we'll see mostly sunny skies, warmer with a high around 50. Saturday, sunshine, a high 52. And Sunday, mostly sunny, high 54. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 42.
Now, it's Focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to Focus here on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to a expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. Coming up in the not-too-distant future is the Holiday House Walk for the benefit of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. And we're going to talk about that this morning with Linda McGee from Wildfire Credit Union. Linda, good morning.
It's not Linda McGee, it's Mandel.
Who is it?
I'm Linda from Town and Country.
Oh,
Did you not know it was going to be me, Art?
No, they put Linda McGee down on my screen here.
Well, Linda McGee's a friend of mine, and she does the wildfire thing, but I have been asked to be the MC of the Holiday House Walk this year, and I am so excited about it. And now that I've retired,
yeah,
Town and Country and the O'Connor's Carpet One, 55 years in retail, I'm now volunteering. I'm absolutely loving it.
That's funny because I miss the commercials that start out, "Hi, this is Linda."
I know.
Oh, so
now
you can.
I'm telling you, it was a little hard, but
Okay, so it's, "Hi, this is Linda for the Holiday House Walk."
that's it. Yes, and I'm going to be in 8 beautiful homes in different places that we're going to be showcasing virtually this year. And we'll be talking to homeowners about their holiday decor and offering folks an opportunity to see everything through a virtual ticket. Or we have some excellent ideas planned this year for watch parties. And this is more like, I always went to the Holiday House Walk with friends, and it was kind of a social thing. So we're bringing that back with 3 watch parties that are going to be really exciting.
So let me ask, before we get too far along here, is it all virtual this year?
No. Virtually, you can purchase a ticket for $15 and watch this Holiday House Walk starting December 9th or anytime you choose in your own home through the 31st of December. But the exciting thing about watching it online is you still have a fabulous opportunity to do this raffle. And I mean, we've had tirelessly people working to get donors and picking up raffle prizes and working for months and months to make this Rudolph raffle such a great event. And for that, you can decide which items you want to bid on the virtual tour. So there's things like great Meyer gift cards, Art Sample Furniture gift cards, Goodrose, Baguettes, Jake's Restaurant, Timbers, just so much.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really going to be fun.
But can you visit the homes?
Go ahead.
Can you visit the homes?
You can't visit the homes. You can't visit the homes in person.
That's the
but
question.
You can visit our 3 watch parties where you're going to be seeing holiday decorations are the Saginaw Club, the Saginaw Art Museum, and the Castle Museum.
Cool.
And they will be decorated, and they will be our watch parties. The actual first one is going to be at the Saginaw Club on December 9th at 11:30, and you can come for holiday tea and actually watch the virtual tour and have an opportunity to win raffle prizes right there that day of that event.
Now,
So we're very, very excited about.
Go ahead. No, finish up.
Well, I just wanted to say the Saginaw Club at 11:30 on December 9th, you're going to have an opportunity to win like a Temple Theater $100 gift card, entrees from the Saginaw Club, holiday gift, Timbers gift cards, this fabulous wreath from the Secret Garden. And the price of the watch party ticket is $50, but it does include the tea, the virtual tour, and obviously a chance to win these great Rudolph raffle gifts.
Now, is that price the same? Is that price the same at all three venues?
It's the same at all three venues. And if you're not going to the venue, it's only $15 to do the virtual tour in your home.
Right. All right. Hang on. I got to take a break, Linda. We'll be back as we talk about the Holiday House Walk, and we'll get you the dates and all of that when we return here on Focus on WSGW. More ahead.
At Golden Harvest, our best skill, Gold Series soybean and game-changing corn portfolios, to our expert insights housed in the Illuminate digital agronomy platform. Everything we offer is an answer to what we've heard from you. This is how we listen.
And jelly, cookies and milk, football in your favorite recliner. Some things work best in pairs. Enlist E3 soybeans from Golden Harvest are no different. Our exclusive Enlist E3 varieties have strong agronomics and disease tolerance. Get yours from Golden Harvest today for a pairing that performs. This is how we listen. Copyright 2021 Syngenta. The trademarks or service marks displayed or otherwise used herein are the property of a Syngenta Group company. Enlist E3 soybean technology is jointly developed with Dow AgroSciences and MS Technologies LLC. Enlist E3 is a trademark of Dow AgroSciences LLC. All other trademarks are the property of their respective owners.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income king, because we only need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement.
Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
My day, I heard a voice from the radio. Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at Liberty.
Liberty, 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 liberty. What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, the system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart, or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, AGE.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on Focus, talking to Linda Tumandl about the SBSO Holiday House Walk for the benefit of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. Dates again. When does this virtual house walk take place?
A virtual ticket. You can a virtual house walk anytime from December 9th until the end of the year.
And what homes are involved? Do you have can you tell us about some of the homes?
Yeah, the homes are just going to be, it's just going to be great. We have two homes in Bay City, Ann Coburn Collins and her husband, James Collins. And we have a beautiful home of Leslie Gauthier and Nick Galloway in downtown Bay City, which is just fabulous. And we're going to at Hunter's Ridge, beautiful home of Dr. and Mrs. Merida, and their home standing. Love to see that. And I'm so excited. We're going to be in the city of Saginaw at an older home built in 1937 of Fred Sirocco, and his home is just unbelievable. And he has a collection of Swarovski crystals that are going to be
Oh.
And one of the places we're going to be that's real near and dear to my heart is the Mustard Seed Women's Shelter in Saginaw.
Really?
And this home is going to be decorated by CC Gatherings. It is going to be so fun. And last Tuesday, we got the women and the children that live at the shelter ornaments, and we got them involved. You know, the expansion of this home happened in 2020, and it's just so inviting and warm and welcoming. We are so thrilled that people see what's happening with the Mustard Seed Women. Be a great part of our Saginaw Symphony House Walk. I've been volunteering there, and I just love it. It's wonderful.
So,
but let me tell you also about these other two watch parties.
Please do.
On Friday, December 10th, we're having a Jingle Bell luncheon at the Castle Museum. And so that's really going to be fun. You can enjoy a delicious lunch and view the tour again, and great prizes to win, like a $100 gift certificate to O'Connor's Carpet One, my favorite store. So like a big basket from Pat's and just beautiful Christmas stuff. And you're going to leave with a Jingle Bell ornament. And that's going to be a really fun day on Friday, December 10th at the Castle. If you haven't been down to the Castle Museum, it's wonderful.
It's a jewel.
It's a great part of our community. It sure is a jewel. And the final watch party is Saturday, December 11th, and that's going to be at the Saginaw Art Museum at 6:30 at night.
Oh.
We're calling it a cocktail candy cane soiree. So you can have cocktails and light appetizers. And the fun part about these watch parties is you can bring friends. We would just love to see as many people come and enjoy these, beautiful places in Saginaw, as well as enjoy the socialization. I'm going to be at all three of our watch parties and making sure that everybody gets their raffle tickets. There's a lot to win at the Art Museum too. We're going to have a pit and balcony package pass and basket from the Antique Warehouse. So it just should be really, really a fun December and a fun way to start the holidays.
Yeah, the watch parties sound like a lot of fun. And you said those tickets are $50 and include all the goodies that come with it.
Right. All the goodies. And those raffles will be, each raffle will be separate at each luncheon or evening event. And the people there will win the prize right there on the day of the event. Right. And the raffle prizes, to be on the virtual tour, you can buy raffle tickets from December 9th to December 31st. And those raffle prizes will be awarded at the end of the year.
So let's talk about tickets. Where does one get them?
You can get the tickets at SaginawBayOrchestra.com/events.
That's simple.
Everything online.
So
very simple.
Very, very
Bonnie
simple.
Van Voorhees is Bonnie Van Voorhees is the CEO of the Saginaw Symphony, and she is amazing and works tirelessly for this community. And she's located there in the Temple Theater. And I don't honestly know whether you can go to the Temple and get tickets, but I think the best way to do it is online through the SaginawBayOrchestra.com/events and just find our Holiday House Walk event.
Otherwise, if you don't know, call the Symphony and they can tell you too. So either way, you can do it.
Absolutely.
December 9th through the 31st, a virtual holiday house walk for the benefit of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. And the lovely Linda Tamandl is back. Her voice is still available, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Still available. I want to take this opportunity to thank the team of Kathy Dean and Chris Hoffman. As I said, we have so many dedicated volunteers, and they've just been making calls to owners and picking up raffle prizes and working for months and months to make this happen. But, Art, we all have to do our part to keep the arts going in Saginaw. So supporting the Saginaw Bay Orchestra with a $15 gift is remarkable for all the good it does for all the people that love this city like me.
Yep.
It's been a long time. I've lived in this city, let me tell you.
Yep. Well, we're glad you do. Glad you're still active, even though if it's not in the commercial business, that's okay. We actually will get more out of you in the nonprofit world, and you know that. Linda, thanks for joining us today.
So far, it's been good.
That's good. I'm happy
Thank
for
you
you.
so much for having me on, Art.
All right.
Thank you, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
We'll do it again. Thanks, Linda.
Talk with you again soon.
Take
Okay.
care. Bye-bye
Thank you,
now.
Art. Bye-bye.
Linda Tomondo from the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra House Walk, December 9th through the 31st. Go to SaginawBayOrchestra.com and get more information. We will take a break and come back and find out what's happening in the markets when we return.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you haven't spent a lot of money on replacement, get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
The days of paying full price are over, and at GrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, these hot dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true, and it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
News. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated, and divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone, but you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance, only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance, so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things with coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it's what you make Pioneer Sugar. Whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown. What could be sweeter than that?
McNamara throws. Ball is caught. Touchdown, Michigan!
The Michigan Wolverines take on the Indiana Hoosiers in another Big Ten battle. Saturday night at 6:30 on 100.5 News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for Focus, brought to you by RoofMax online, roofmax.com, and that's RoofMax with 2 X's. Later this week, by the way, I think maybe even tomorrow, we're going to talk to Ben from RoofMax on Focus. Time to head over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that is where we find Steve Anderson. A brand new week, a brand new month. How are we beginning it, Steve?
With brand new numbers. Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is ahead by 42 points, putting it at 35,862. The volume is 286 million shares. The NASDAQ is ahead by 53, putting it at 15,551 on volume of 406 million shares.
And your ticker tip for this new month?
Well, there are any number of people that still have savings bonds that they're holding on to. They may have had them for, golly, any number of years. One of the things to remember is that at some point a savings bond does mature, and by mature I mean quit earning interest. So periodically you do need to take a look at those savings bonds just as you would anything else in your investment portfolio. See what the interest rate is. How long is it before it matures? Has it already matured and quit paying interest? And act accordingly. If you've got any of the Series EE savings bonds that were issued before May of 1997, those have interest posted 2 times per year, 6 months apart, every April and every 6 months after that. Now, all I bonds post interest on a monthly basis. Now, those are the ones that adjust to whatever the inflation rate is at the time. And so now you've got a little bit of a handle on how they pay, that they pay, and then at some point they quit paying. Now take a look at those bonds in your portfolio, determine number 1, should they still be there? Number 2, are they earning anything while they're still there? And then make appropriate portfolio decisions.
And getting a little help might be nice. How do we do that from you?
Well, you can contact us right here at Baird and Company in Saginaw. The telephone number is 790-5724. Remember, 989.
All right.
790-5724. And you can contact our Midland location at 989-839-9035, or find us on the web at rwbaird.com, and then you can look for whichever branch you want.
Very good, Steve. We'll talk to you down the road. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good. Take care, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip of the day. Time to move forward with the Farm Show, hosted today by Charlie Rood, and he will have that for you coming up after these notes.
What's impressive about Pioneer corn product development?